guys, it's Amy, and you found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on any of my videos. I really do appreciate your time. Well, my crochet week this week, let's see what's been going on. There was a reptile convention. I know that's not crochet related, but I also have reptiles, so I enjoyed the NARBC, which is the National North American Reptile Breeder Convention or something like that, up in St. Charles. And it's so far from my house, you know, I go way up north, and then so I had to, you know, make it a yarn stop as well. I cut across the river real quick and went over to Fiber and Threads, and I think it's in Shiloh, Illinois. And so, you know, I haven't been there in about 6 months since they had just about opened right when the yarn crawl was going on for this year. And of course, if you didn't see that, I did my yarn crawl on my own because I wasn't available the week that they were doing it, the weekend that the main thing was going on. So I just made my own and went a few weeks before that. But so running over to Fiber and Threads, it was a really nice stop, you know, 6 months after opening. I'm not sure exactly when they opened, but I was there 6 months ago, and it was very, very new then. So I'm not sure, you know, what's transpired over there since then, but they've got new yarns and they're all decorated for Christmas and stuff. So it was a fun stop to go and make. Now previously I had this yarn in my stash. This is Malabrigo in the Arco Iris colorway. It's coming out really, really dark on here, but it's the purples here are much lighter than is coming out. You can see some really great colors here. And this one actually, let me put that one down. I had this one in my stash first, and this is what, you know, they talk about hand-painted yarn not really matching each other. You know, if you're going to use hand-dyed yarn, you should be using alternating rows, you know, like in this case, these are the same colorway, but they're kind of a little bit different, you know. So if I was going to make something with these, I should alternate rows so that you don't see like this is here and then this is here. It kind of all still goes together. So this is the one. I had this in my stash already and recently picked up 2 more of these. I believe it's Seven Sisters. And so you can see again how the color dye is so different. So when I had this one initially in my stash, I bought this one because like on a separate trip, because I thought that they would go together. And it looks okay here, you know, in some of the lighter sections, maybe it goes a little bit better. But, you know, once I got it home and I was like, it's just not floating my boat. So I did pick up the other 2. I picked up 2 recently here, so that now I've got 3 of these. Are a little bit different, but I clearly know that this one is not going to go with it. This one is called Valentina, and it's just this really, really pale. Looks a lot more pink here. There's a bit of a purple tinge to it, but it is a very, very pretty color, and you can see sort of how the colors come and go. Try not to blow it up too much, but it gets fairly light in some places, almost white. So I like the colorway. I didn't think that it would go with that anymore. And once I bought the other 2 Arco Irises, then I knew that that search was complete. So I still now just have this one all by itself. So when I ran over to Fiber and Threads, I found that they had 1 more of those. So that's nice. So I'll have 2 of those. But they also have this fantastic color that it goes so well with. This is called Lotus. And you can see how similar it is to the colorways, but there's a lot more purples and blue in it than the reds that were in the other one. So you can see how well they go together. I am super excited about making something up with these. Look at those colors. I almost wish I had 2 of these and just the 1 of these, but that's what I bought on my trip a week or so ago, was these 2 items at the Fiber and Threads. So that was a fun little stop, and you know, I'm always interested to see what's been going on since I was there last. So that was a nice little stop. The next thing I want to share with you is a completed wrap that I made with one of the Mandala Bonus Bundles. I received this in a lot that I bought on eBay that had a whole bunch of yarns, all these new facets yarn by Loops and Threads. I had a whole bunch of those. I showed you completed projects with some hats and some scarves, a shawl. It was a hat and a shawl, some hats and a shawl. But these bad boys are 1,181 yards. Here's your specs in case you haven't seen these before. So it is a 3-weight, as you see here, and I still have 3 more of these. I received 4 of them in the lot that I purchased. The colorway is called Gollum, and it's this beautiful grouping of purples and pinks of all shades. It's really very pretty. I enjoyed working with the yarns very, very much. And sometimes when you're working with it, the color change was very, very subtle. And then all of a sudden you realized, you know, oh, wait a minute, this isn't the same color I just had out. So I very much enjoyed the subtlety of the color changes. And this is one of those projects where I enjoy just working, and then I'm out of yarn. So out of that 1,181 yards, this is all I had left from this project. And I used my 5mm H hook, which I love these hooks so much. And so let's hold this up and really show you. It's a very simple stitch that I did. I'll link it down in the description below. I did want you to be able to see the color changes so easily. Look how pretty. And then this mauve sort of at the end over here. And then you kind of start into purple again. So normally when I start a color changing cake, I might pull out the center because I don't know how much of that color has been represented in that center spot. It might have been trimmed short. So if I take out that center color and start with the next color that I know will have a full representation of that color, I kind of wished after the fact that while I was working on it, I was concerned that my end piece, see, it's only like a handful of rows right here before it changed colors. And then the next color change was really big, it seemed. So I thought, should I have cut this part out? Because I did not. I just used it as it came. But then you can see that some of the other color changes aren't quite as, you know, you don't have quite as much of the color. So I don't think that it mattered for me to not remove that center piece this time. Not all of them are the same length of color. Like here's this lighter color. And then this next color you can see is quite a few more rows. So I like it. You know, it can be just a warm little throw that you have sitting around on the in the living room. Sometimes if you're completely covered up in a blankie, it's too much, you know, you get a little warm. So this is a nice, you know, sort of, it's called a wrap. And so it's good for like a shawl type thing. But again, if you're just walking around the house and you just need a little bit upper body warmth, you know, it could be a scarf if you were into one of those, you know, bigger, bulkier scarf kind of persons. Maybe you live in Chicago or the windier areas like that, the Windy City. So yeah, you know, making something new. Once I received these Mandala Bonus Bundles, I went out to the Lion Brand website and was checking out a bunch of different patterns that I could make, you know. I mean, of course you could make a throw or a blanket of some sort, but I kind of wanted to find something a little bit different. So the pattern here is just, I'm trying to get it to show you. Like, I always think I'm upside down. They're just shells. You just do shells. There's nothing very exciting about it. Shells on shells. So there's a single crochet in between the shells, then there's a single. So then on the next row, you put the single on top of the shell and the shell down into the single where that's separated. So it's kind of a standard shell type pattern. So nothing exciting there, but the color was super exciting. If you can't tell that by my description already of the yarn, you know, look at the different colors. It's just so pretty, so purple, so lovely, so pink and magenta and maroon and all those good colors. So if you like any of these colors, I'm sure you would enjoy this yarn. And again, this colorway was called Gollum. Not sure where they got that, but and is there a date on here? 2022. So it's not that old. It's not that old, but I hadn't had any bonus bundles before, so I very much enjoyed picking those up. So just a nice little quick little video, share a finished project. I've been working on some the keepsake blanket, as you guys know, I have that still that I'm working on. And now we've got, we were announced a little Christmas party between my department at work and another sister department. So, because there's only 5 of us in my group. So to do kind of a gift exchange or something's a little bit like, we already know who everybody is, you know, like, so it's fun to get together with another group and deal with that. So we'll have that Christmas gift exchange. And so I've been working on some little goodies, just something little, you know, to give to each of the people aside from my main gift that we have to do. We have one boy in our group of, I think there's 13 of us total, and only one of them is a boy. And so we've got to do, you know, unisex gifts that could go for anybody, which is fine. It just really makes you kind of think a little bit harder to make sure that what your gift is going to be good for anybody, you know. So, all right, guys, I hope everything's well with you. I hope you're getting ready for the holidays. There's a lot of stuff going on between now and the first of the year for so many of us. So for everybody, right? So I hope you're doing well, like I say, and just enjoy the season. Try to stay positive. There's going to be a lot of anxiety and a lot of going on, and the weather's changing. It's getting colder, and so for a crocheter, I enjoy the colder weather because it means that I can wear my stuff out. But otherwise, so yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and please do come back and see me again. Be blessed. Bye-bye.